Eugenie Sage.
Mr. Chair. Thank you very much. Please take a short call for the Green Party on the Financial Assistance for Live Organ Donors Bill, and do congratulate Mr Bishop and the Select Committee, because this is how Select Committees should work, not like the Resource Legislation Amendment Bill, which the Minister issued a press statement about today, which the Select Committee wasn't even allowed to report back to this House on,
but
and
moving
where there
on.
have been closed-door negotiations outside of the Select Committee. But this bill, and I like Rino Tirakatni's line about heavy-duty panel beating, because it has been completely rewritten in Select Committee with the assistance of officials to bring back what was a very sensible bill in terms of providing financial assistance to people making live organ donations, to improve the way in which the financial assistance is considered, and to change the decision-making and the gatekeeping, as Mr Bishop referred to it, from the Ministry of Social Development to the Director-General of Health. And it was interesting, I think, in terms of the points raised by some submitters, that they thought the Director-General of Health was a much better decision-maker here because of the difficulties people had had in getting assistance from the Ministry of Social Development. And the Director-General of Health being actually much more acquainted, obviously, with the issues around this. So there have been other improvements to the bill in terms of when it was introduced, it was only going to provide 80% of the equivalent of what you get under ACC. The Select Committee changed that, so if you were giving an organ, donating an organ, it would be cost neutral, and you would receive 100% of the income that you would have received from ACC. So that is a significant improvement. As others have commented, our rates of organ donation in New Zealand are very low compared to countries like Spain. That is often in the area of organs being donated by people who have died. This bill is restricted to live organ donations. But it's interesting that New Zealanders consider themselves altruistic people. Many people support the concept of organ donation, and I think for those people who are extremely generous in donating an organ while they are alive, there have been a number of barriers to that, and this bill is a really good initiative because it is removing that barrier of suffering financial hardship because there isn't compensation for lost earnings if you're on a benefit. But I think, Mr Speaker, we need a much greater review of the whole system around organ donation generally, the institutional structures, the mechanisms available to support donors, the way in which the health and hospital services work for live organ donation, and also for ones from people who have died, because there needs to be much more support there. And I think there is quite a comprehensive review happening. There are various papers on the Ministry of Health website. But this bill is a useful initiative, not just for what it does in terms of providing an even playing field in relation to financial assistance, but also helping raise public awareness of the issue of organ donation. And when we have increasing rates of diabetes in New Zealand and the renal failure that goes with that, we are looking at more and more people requiring assistance there, so we need to increase our rates of organ donation. One of the other things I'd just like to comment on briefly is clauses 21 to 25, where there are dispute resolution procedures included in the bill so that people can apply to the Director-General for a review of his or her decision, and that the role of the Director-General in being a gatekeeper in determining whether people are actually eligible to get that financial assistance is more sensible than what was in the bill as introduced. So, Mr Speaker, the Green Party supported the bill at introduction. We're very pleased at the very sound Select Committee process and the improvements to the bill as a result of Select Committee, and we hope that all bills go through a similarly robust Select Committee process.